Now the items you're gonna need to change a toilet out are, this is a standard wax ring, okay? This one doesn't have the black on the bottom, but this one does. So if it's far away from the ground, I'm gonna set this one on top of this one to give us a little extra room. These are the bolts that go with it. You want the ones that have this little plastic piece right here because they hold it in place so you can work on it. Crescent wrench for the bolts. You want some 3 or 5 hour caulk so this will dry a little quicker. A level, and knee pads from the old tile business I still have. And the most important thing, have some. Now, I've got the water on back here, and you're only gonna tighten it with your hand. And that will turn it off. And then we're just gonna flush your toilet. Now here's the bummer. You can flush it a couple times, but that water probably still there. And there's gonna be some water in the back down on the bottom that we're gonna have to get out also. So the trick here is to not get so frustrated that you hurry anything. And don't throw this water down the sink, it is toilet water. Soak it up and then bring it out. Drop a towel, bring it out. Patience is the key. If when I was younger, God, well, even now, I don't really enjoy doing this, but it's necessary. So, may as well do it as well. That part's more or less dry. I'm gonna throw this towel away, so now I'm gonna have to get the rest of the water out of in here. Same deal. That's why we have the gloves, man. Grosser than shit. So, that bucket, these gloves, are all going into the trash somewhere, right? We're not doing anything with those. And then I'm gonna have some wax ring residue here in the middle. So, I hope we got enough light. To loosen this deal, right on the bottom of the tank, right here, is a screw in, and basically we can unscrew that. Because if I do this one down here, I have to have plumber's tape and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna unscrew that. Now, you may wanna hold it on the inside, and usually this can be done by hand. You usually don't need tools for this part. It's making noise, and there you go. And as I said, you're gonna have some water drip out the back. That's why you have towels. Don't let that bother you. So now we're ready to remove the rest of the toilet. We got the 2 other things. Okay, so when removing the bolts, just get your crescent wrench around there. Okay, so finally at the top, it got to the point where I could do that part. Now the thing to remember is these things are not made from steel. They will break. Porcelain, okay? Keep that in mind. This would be the shot that I hope I don't have plumber's butt. Okay, so these are loosened. The things are over here so I know where to find them in case I need them. All right, and now we're just gonna pull this toilet. Water's off and disconnected. Kind of use your legs straight up, and let's get back on the trash bag because it's gonna be messy. So the bottom of your toilet, you're gonna have some wax down here, and if it's an older toilet, you're gonna have a ton. Right over here, that's pretty clean and in shape. But what I want you to look at right there, see that thing is bent. And I may have to put a new one of those on, but for now, I have to clean everything up and get it out of the way to be able to tell. Now, this is caulk around the outside, and you wanna get all that down because you're gonna put new caulk down. Caulk, if you don't know it, is glue, and it holds your toilet to the ground. Now, there we go. Yeah, go ahead and say, yuck. All right, so now I'm sliding all over the place, but I've got this sprayed down with Fantastic, and this may just be as clean as the area is going to get. So now, I've taken you out where there's better light so you can see this. This is the old one. See how this guy put this on? He attached it with a little bolt right down there. That does not come in the package. You get this cheap little plastic thing in there that's supposed to hold it down. But I'm gonna take his off and use that because that's a brilliant idea to keep it in place. Hardest thing is, those things move around when you're trying to put your toilet down and drive you crazy. So what you end up with is, there's a little notch right over here, and these things go in, and you want them to turn sideways, so they're not going to go anywhere. All right, nice and simple. Easiest way to do that is put your little deal on there, and that'll kind of hold them in place. But we're gonna make it easier on ourselves, and I'm gonna screw these on to hold them in place. And that way I don't have to worry about them. That moving part has cost me more time and trouble than I care to honestly admit. Now this doesn't have to be super duper tight. Okay, so now actually comes the fun part. I have to fix this toilet and everything else. So we are going to get it over into position, and then I'm going to attach the wax rings to the bottom of it, and then we're gonna put it in place. So that's the way this works. These are got stuff around the outside that, well, it would be wax and it sticks to you. So we don't want to have that around. Can right there. This should all just pull right off fairly easily. Okay. Now my goal is to have this wax ring inside this other one. Now the way this works is this has this plastic deal right here which will go down into the toilet, and this on top, and then all the wax will spread out over everything if this works perfectly. Alright, so I'm gonna get shit all over this. New pair of gloves. I'm gonna stick the wax to the bottom of this as I get ready to drop it. Really, this is a two-man job, but you can do it as a one-man job, as I have many times. So there's a hole on the bottom here. Get your wax ring over the hole and feel it, and then line your bolts up so they come through. Because if you snap those, you're cooked. One is through, I can see it, and the other is through. Okay, so right there, my toilet is set. See, the rings came through right there, the other one right over here. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to sit on this and we're going to spread out the wax. But I can already feel this thing's rocking, so it's not. We're going to bring it to a point of level. So put my level right up here, which ironically looks pretty scary level, right in the middle. So we need to get this thing to quit rocking. Okay, with that piece under there, that actually works. So what I want to do is make that piece a little smaller so I can caulk around it and hold this thing, okay? Now, back there, which way? Right there is level to that back side. Puts it more or less level there. And pretty darn level there. Okay, so I push that one under, and that seems to have solved it. So now we're going to bolt everything down. We're just going to tighten it on, and then we're going to check to see if we are level again. All right, let me go ahead and get the one on the other side as well. All right, so we're just finishing up, and we're going to tighten this thing down. Okay, now this is still tightening pretty easy, but you don't want to start bending everything, all right? So we want it to be tight. Your caulk is the glue that is going to hold this thing down. Now, nothing is moving at all, so we'll go just a little bit more, but don't do it when it's hard. You're going to break something. So wait until you get some resistance. Like right there, I've got resistance, so a little bit more, and we're good. All right. So we're level, sturdy. Now let's get this thing caulked. So. Okay, so you can use a wet rag, or you can use your finger. Go around here and get this cleaned. Now, I've got the water on back here, and you're only going to tighten it with your hand. But I put a towel around my hand to keep from cutting it. It really does help, okay? Now let's turn the water on and see whether this works or not. I'm going to do a few flushes, see if you get any water coming out. That caulk will block some of it, just a few of them, and then you know